In this video, I will show you several ways how to find social media traffic in Google Analytics and how to build custom reports. There are various ways how you can see the social media traffic data in Google Analytics 4, and let me show you some of them. So first of all, you should be looking for some report that mentions traffic acquisition. In my case, I have that under acquisition and then traffic acquisition. In your Google Analytics property, the location of this report might be different because this sidebar is highly customizable. So now I will go to traffic acquisition, and here by default I have the session default channel group dimension, and here we have various groups. One of them is organic social, or maybe you're focusing on paid social. So these two are the ones that we want to see. If you care only about general numbers and you want to see them displayed in this chart, then here's what you could do. You can click here to unselect all the channel groups and instead select organic social, maybe paid social, and then click plot rows. Now in the chart, you have data related only to those two traffic sources. Right now, this chart shows total users because I'm sorting data by total users, but if you want to see sessions, then you could click, for example, here and then sort by that metric, and it will be reflected in this chart right here. Alternatively, if you want to see a table only containing these two channel groups right here, then you could click Add Filter, for example, and then select a dimension, which in this case is Session Default Channel Group. And then you could enter Matches Partial Regex and then enter Social, which means that I will be looking for those channel groups where the word social is included. So now if I click Apply, the report does not show anything because I realized that this is case sensitive. So let me edit the filter. I click it right here and then enter social with the uppercase S. Now click Apply. And here I have data only related to social traffic, which is either organic or paid social. Now I can drill down a bit deeper because right now I don't know how much of that traffic is coming from Facebook or maybe from some other social networks. So here I could click here and select session source medium instead. And now I see the traffic sources where my traffic is coming from.
By the way, I release Google Analytics or Google Tag Manager tutorials every week. If you want consistent flow of fresh knowledge and to stay up to date, then subscribe to this channel. It will help us a lot.
If you want to focus only on particular social traffic, for example, only on organic social, then you could update your filter to not use the regular expression, but instead to exactly match. And then here you can enter organic social, for example, then click Apply. And now I see all source medium values only coming from organic social. Now, one thing that you need to keep in mind is that if you switch to any other report, then you go back, your filter is no longer available because you created that only for that particular moment, and it is a temporary filter, or you can call it ad hoc. But if you plan to look at this organic social or paid social data quite often, you could create a custom report and add it to the sidebar right here. So let's do that. First of all, I will go to the traffic acquisition report and I will click edit. So you need to have enough permissions. But what I'm going to do is that I will create a copy of this report and I will modify it to include only organic social traffic. So first of all, in the traffic acquisition report, I will click customize report. And then here I can add a filter where session default channel group exactly matches and then select organic social. Then click apply. So now I see only organic social row right here. So since I'm using a filter, I kind of don't need to see this dimension as a default one. Instead, I would like to see source and medium. That's why in dimensions column, I can click three dots next to session source medium and then set as default and maybe even move it to the top of the list. Now, if I click apply, I will see various traffic sources related to social media. Once you are happy with your report, then you could click Save. By the way, I have disabled bar chart in many of my reports because I don't find them quite useful. So you could do the same thing, but the line chart is quite helpful. So I can keep that. Now I can click Save and save as a new report. Let's call this social media or maybe even organic social media or something like that and click Save. Now I can go back. Then go to library right here and edit the collection where I want to include this report. So I want to add it in the lifecycle section inside the acquisition topic. So this is the collection where I will be making changes. So click 3 dots, edit, and then I will try to find that. So organic, social, and this is the report. So now I can just drag it somewhere right here. In my case, it doesn't work because I already have a bunch of reports right here and there are certain limits in Google Analytics. So maybe I will remove this and then use this one instead. And now it was added. So click save and save changes to the current collection. Now, if I go back, and then I open acquisition, I will see that organic social media is available right here. And you need to keep in mind that once you add a report to the sidebar, all users of this property will be able to see this report and access it with a couple of clicks. So now if I click it, the filter is already present and I see the traffic coming from social media. If you're running paid ads on social media, you could also follow the same principle and create another report where the filter is looking for paid social session default channel group. Also, we can take a quick look at the report itself. So again, as I've mentioned, I built this report based on the usual traffic acquisition report. So here I see the number of users, then sessions. If we move to the right, we can also see things like purchases or key events. I can click here and select a particular key event, like, subscription to a newsletter. So I will select generate lead event. In your case, the event name might be different. So if I select it now, I can see from where the traffic is coming from, and I can even sort it and see the traffic sources with their conversion data. By the way, did you know that I have a bunch of free ebooks on Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics? So if you want to better learn these topics, then click the link below the video, download those ebooks, and get started. What you have probably noticed by looking at your reports is that some social networks have different domains. For example, I have this l.facebook.com, I have just facebook.com, I have instagram.com, but I also have linstagram.com. For Facebook, we also have lm, m, and so on. So basically, all of these still mean Facebook, but they are just slightly different domains. For your convenience, we could actually do some customization and group some of these domains into single rows. That can be achieved with custom channel groups. In each Google Analytics property, you can have up to 3 channel groups. The first slot is taken by the default channel group, so it means that you can have 2 more custom groups. I will duplicate this tab because I still need to see these domains right here, just for reference. So now I will go to another tab and then click admin and then go to channel groups. Here I already have used all 3 slots. One of the channel groups is indeed related to social network, so I will not be recreating that group in this property, but I will do that in another one. However, we can take a quick look at how have I configured the social network channel group. So if I click here, I decided to group all social media traffic based on whether it is paid or organic, and then based on social network names. I have selected the most popular ones from where I'm getting traffic, but based on your business location and from where you're getting traffic, you might want to have a different list. So if I go, for example, to paid Facebook, here I have selected that if source contains Facebook and medium matches CPC, then that kind of traffic source will be included in the paid Facebook group. In fact, I think that I'm also using another value, which is not just CPC, but also paid. So maybe I should enter matches regex, then a pipe and paid like that, and then click apply and save this channel. So now let me show you how to create something similar. Here I have another property. It's my demo property. I kind of don't have traffic from social media here, but to show you the steps, it's still more than enough. So in this property, I will go to channel groups, then create new channel group, and then we can name this, let's say, social network. Then I will delete all the traffic sources here, or actually groups. So let's do that. And then let's add a new channel group. So the most popular social network for me is Facebook. That's why I will enter Facebook, and we can call this Facebook paid or paid Facebook. So let's call this, let's say, paid Facebook. And then we have to add a condition. So here I can include conditions based on various dimensions. So for example, for medium, I will use paid or CPC. These two are quite popular. So matches regex and then CPC, pipe, and paid. So if the traffic is paid and the source contains facebook.com, this will cover things like m.facebook.com, l.facebook.com, and so on. Then I will apply it, and this traffic source will be included in paid Facebook group. In fact, I could go to the traffic source, or actually traffic acquisition reports in Google Analytics property, and just double check what kind of source and medium values do I have there. So in the traffic acquisition report, I will add a filter where session default channel group exactly matches and then paid social. So apply a filter and then switch to session source medium dimension right here. And I have FB and paid. So maybe I should update the traffic source condition right here. I mean, the condition of the group. So if medium is CPC or paid, in this case, that's correct. And source contains Facebook, or actually maybe partially matches regex facebook.com or FB, then apply and then save channel. So the Facebook paid group is done. Then I can click copy to create new, and here we can enter organic. And in this case, we can actually remove this condition and just keep partially matches regex and then facebook.com without FB. So what will happen here if I create this channel? Google Analytics will evaluate each session in the following order. First, it will try to check whether traffic source or actually session is coming from paid Facebook. If that condition is not met, then the second group will be evaluated, which will just catch all the remaining Facebook traffic, which means it's not paid, aka it is organic. Then I can make another copy of paid Facebook and apply it to another traffic source. So let me check what that looks like. Organic social media, and I see LinkedIn, so we can include that. That's why I will copy paid Facebook, copy to create new. We can call this paid LinkedIn. And then you should check again the medium values of your paid LinkedIn traffic. If you're using CPC or paid, then you can leave this condition, but maybe you have something else like paid ads or something like that. Then you might need to update this condition. And then in source, I will include just linkedin.com because that's what I see in the reports right here. So apply and save channel, then make a copy of paid LinkedIn, remove the medium here because you might have medium referral or medium social. In that case, all we care is that all the remaining non-paid LinkedIn traffic should be included in organic LinkedIn, and then click save. And keep doing this for all other social networks from where you're getting traffic. In my case, I would have done the same thing for Instagram, maybe Weebly. Oh, also I found another one, which is LinkedIn right here. So maybe I should copy this, then go here and update my paid LinkedIn, where partially matches LinkedIn or this value. Click apply, then save channel, and do the same thing for organic LinkedIn, where I update a condition like this. Click apply and save changes. You could in fact look at a larger report because maybe you have more rows than 10. Then I have t.me. I'm not sure. I think maybe it's Telegram. So maybe I could create for that. So basically adapt this custom channel group based on what kind of social media traffic are you getting. You could also go to traffic acquisition report, then add a filter where you include only the referral session default channel group. So where is that? It's right here. Apply. And then you can just scan and actually scroll through this list. So switch to source medium. And then maybe you will see something else. Maybe you will see some referral that Google Analytics does not categorize as social network, even though it should. So maybe you could include those conditions in the channel group settings as well. And one final thing that you need to do is to handle all the remaining traffic sources which are not social media. Basically, you will need to tell Google Analytics that anything else that is not social media, well, it should be treated as not social media. So you can click add new channel And then I can name this something like non-social media, and then add condition group where medium, for example, matches regex and then dot asterisk, which means anything. Now click apply and save channel. So what will happen is that every time a session is tracked by Google Analytics, it will try to categorize that session in one of these buckets, and it will be evaluated in this particular order. This will be evaluated first, this second, this one will be evaluated third, and so on. And if none of these conditions are met, as a catch-all condition, the session will be included in this non-social media bucket. And then after you configure all of this, you should click Save Group. So the result of that report should look something like this. You can go to Traffic Acquisition Report. If you have any filters, you should remove them. And then after you create a custom channel group for social network, you should click here and it will be available right here, like Session Social Network or something like that, depending on how you named this channel group. So now if I click here, I will see that a lot of traffic is included in the non-social traffic because that's how I configured the custom channel group. But the remaining traffic sources are categorized into organic Facebook and organic LinkedIn. Now I realized that the paid ads traffic coming from Facebook is not included properly because my channel group conditions are not correct. So maybe I should go to admin, then channel groups, then social network, and paid Facebook should be updated to include Facebook or FB because that's my naming convention of UTM parameters. So I should switch from contains to partially matches regex and then apply and save changes. Then save group and save again. A nice thing about custom channel groups is that they are retroactive, so they will recalculate the data that you have already tracked. So now if I go to reports, then traffic acquisition, and then switch to session social network. I should see that traffic somewhere, but I don't. So let me quickly check why this is happening. So I will go to channel groups again, social network, paid Facebook, and source matches, at least partially matches Facebook or FB, and then medium matches CPC or paid, and it should be changed to matches regex because right now I'm looking at full matches because I can use either CPC or paid. If you have multiple different medium values like paid or paid ads or something like that, then you should switch from matches regex to partially matches regex because right now we're looking at exact matches. Now I click apply, save channel, then save group, save, and I think this should do the trick. So now if I go to reports, then traffic acquisition, then session social network, here I will see that paid Facebook traffic is also included right here. I don't get much paid traffic because I'm kind of more like experimenting and just, I just want to have some test traffic rather than actually spending money on ads for my own needs. If you still don't see paid Facebook, then try to refresh the page and that should help. And that's how you can find social media traffic in Google Analytics reports. If you found this video useful, hit the like button. That will help me understand what videos do you like and what should I create in the future. Also, if you want to learn more about Google Tag Manager or Google Analytics, then subscribe to this channel. My name is Julius, this is Analytics Mania, and I'll see you in the next video.